Hi friends, I'm so happy that you're joining me today for this deep hip stretch practice. So let's release some tension, emotion, and kind of stuck energy from those hips. Also can support any lower back discomfort you might be having and promote overall great mobility as you walk through the world. So I look forward to enjoying this practice with you. So we're gonna start on the back and start to windshield wiper the knees gently side to side, as a way to arrive in your body and just get moving right away to loosen up the hips. And as you do this, you can initiate the movement from your feet. Instead of thinking about doing it from your hips or from your knees, think about initiating the movement from the connection of your feet to the floor. So you press, for example, through that left foot, and then you feel that pressing, moving the knee over, lifting that left hip up, and the whole spine then turns, and the belly spills to the right, and just flow back and forth in that way. So you can have your hands anywhere, on your ribs or on your belly, or even in a cactus position. And tune into your breath. And you can pause anywhere that feels like it might benefit from some extra attention in a couple of moments. And set your intention for today. So whatever intention you have, it could be receptivity, it could be a sense of humor, or just releasing stuck energy. Whatever comes to mind, let that intention help guide your effort. And then when your knees come back to center, step your feet back, when your knees come back to center, step your feet hip-width distance apart, and then press through your left foot and hug your right knee in. Take your hands in front of that right shin, and then start to circulate that right knee in a couple of either small circles or larger circles, depending on how you feel, to loosen up that hip a little bit more. And then go ahead and cross that right ankle on top of the left thigh. And we'll take that right hand and give that right inner thigh a little bit of a press while you take your left hand on top of that right ankle and just drag down a little bit. And you could stay here and just work here, maybe a little rocking side to side, or go ahead and thread the needle and slip your hands either in the left knee crease or the front of the shin for figure 4, or also called reclined pigeon pose. And we're gonna flex the feet. And you really want to feel this in that outer right hip and butt kind of piriformis muscle area, keeping the upper back relaxed, and a little rocking can help loosen up. So your eyes are very soft, your face is soft, your lower jaw is soft as you tune into the area of the most sensation. And holding, plug that right thigh bone right into the hip socket. And let's inhale, hug the legs a little closer. And we're going to exhale, uncross, and bring your feet onto the floor. Press through your right foot and hug that left knee in and give it a little squeeze. And we'll take a couple of slow circles and see how that left hip is treating you today. How does your left hip feel today? And then cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Thread the needle and slip your hands in the right knee crease or the front of the shin. And we'll breathe there, feeling that left thigh bone wrap right into the hip. Collarbones are broad and the shoulder joints are soft. And if your face and your jaw are soft, that softness can translate down into any of that gripping in the hip. And you pause and breathe and notice with receptivity, whatever there is to notice. And we'll find an inhale, filling the belly with the space of the breath and drawing that right thigh a little closer toward you. And then uncross and find a full happy baby, elbows on insides of knees, hands reaching around for the ankles, the shins, or right toward the outside edges of the feet. The heels are right over your knees. We're gonna open your elbows and pull those knees gently toward your underarms. And then release and cross either ankle on top. And we're gonna rock on the spine and rock yourself right up to sit. And as you rock up to sit, we're gonna bring that right heel behind your left sitting bone. We're gonna slide that left leg around. So your right knee is pointing toward the upper right corner of your mat. And then you're letting that left hip point roll forward. And you could take this variation of pigeon where you come down and lay your belly on top of that right thigh and rest your third eye center right on your thumbs. Or you can extend that left heel straight back and come into more of this full pigeon with the left hip point rolling down and then making your way to your forearms where we're going to pause. Your right foot is flexed. Find a place to rest your third eye on the support of your thumbs or the edge of a yoga block, or eventually the floor over time. We're going to breathe. We don't want to feel this in your right knee. So if you have that little bit of flex in the right foot to protect the knee. And sometimes it might feel interesting to wag your tail a little bit. And remember to come back to a sense of ease in your effort. And then we'll press through the top of that left foot and walk your hands up onto fingertips. We come up to fingertips. We're going to lift the chest, look up. Then we're going to shift toward the lengthwise side of your mat. Gather your right foot to the inside of your left inner thigh. Then interlace your hands in front of that right knee. And just imagine that you're plugging that right thigh bone right into the hip. And then start to walk our hands toward what was the front of your mat. So we're going to walk your hands toward the front of your mat and just turn. Turn left rib toward the right rib. Let that outer right thigh come onto the ground. And we'll inhale. And then we'll exhale. Reach that right hand around for the outside of your left foot. And slide your right hand around. Try to bind. Peek at your left hip. And think of the inner thighs moving forward and down. Take a big inhale into that right side body. Exhale, fold into the pose a little more. And then we're going to drop the tail. And we're going to turn around again to face the front of your mat. And then slide that right knee open. So we come back through the pigeon shape. And then tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee off the ground. We're going to plant the palms. And then slide back into downward dog. And we'll meet in downward dog. We're going to pedal out the feet. Pull your hips up toward the sky. Find the length through the side waists. And then touch your knees down. Take the tops of the feet flat. Come back into child's pose. Hips to heels. Feel the length of your lower back toward the toes as you stretch the fingers long. Nice. And then we'll come into a tabletop position. Let's bring that left knee a little wider than the left wrist. And we're going to have the left knee pointing toward that upper left-hand corner of the mat. Now you can take the variation here where you have that left foot on top of the right thigh, or you're going to go ahead and slide that right leg back and find pigeon. Left foot a little flexed, left sitting bone dropping straight down. Take your time to find a place to rest your third eye. On the hands, on the blocks, or eventually all the way down toward the floor. And we breathe there, thinking of the two hip points rolling toward the earth, facing down toward the earth. Inhaling light and space into any area that's tense. Exhaling all the way out to gradually move into the pose a little bit more without force. And we want to keep a nice sense of softness in the shoulder joints, in the jaw. And we'll start to slowly walk up onto tented fingers, lift your heart. And we're going to look toward the lengthwise side of your mat on your right and start to turn and then bring your left foot to the inside of your right inner thigh and sit up tall. Interlace your fingers right on the kneecap of your left knee and just imagine that you're pressing that left knee toward the hip and plugging the left femur into the hip. And then we're going to walk the hands around to your left toward the front of your mat, keeping your right toes pointing straight up. Hope you're staying with me here. Big full inhale into that left lower belly. And then exhale, we're going to turn and reach your left hand for the outside of your right foot. We're going to move the chest toward your right foot. Swipe that right hand around onto your back, reaching around for the hip and fold. So you're just trying to slide those right fingertips into the left hip crease. And breathing, forehead toward that right shin. And breathing along that left side deep into the left low back hip area. Hip creases are rolling forward and down toward the floor. We're going to inhale and then exhale, come all the way up, and then start to turn and open that left knee back out toward pigeon. The right toes are tucked. We're going to lift that right knee, plant the palms, and step right back to downward dog. Pedal out your feet. Finding downward dog. Nice long lower back. Letting your head shake out. And then we'll roll into a plank pose. Bring your knees down right under the hips. Finding a tabletop position. We're going to walk the knees forward right between the thumbs and then cross your ankles. Sit behind the heels. And then we're going to uncross and slide the heels out and reach for the toes. So just work with a little bit of hip mobility. And we're going to reach your arms up, slide your heels in, cross either ankle, roll over the knees, and take your feet flat. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, hands through heart center, cross your ankles, sit behind the heels, extend your heels out, reach between the toes, and then reach on up, cross your opposite ankle and roll over the knees and come on up. That's an inhale. Exhale, cross opposite ankle, sit back, uncross, reach. And one more time, cross opposite ankle, roll over the knees, inhale up, feet are flat, and then exhale, sit back, uncross, extend your heels out, reach for your toes, take a forward fold, inhale, lift up, lengthen, exhale, fold into that wide-legged forward fold, whatever amount. It's nice to take your hands on that IT band area from the hip, give a little massage toward the knee, and then take your bear paw hands and take a little tap right on your SI joints, which is kind of that place where the sacrum triangles itself down toward the tailbone. Little taps there. And then we're going to sit up and let's make our way onto the back. So we're finding ourselves on the back again with the feet hip width distance. Let's hug that right knee in again, give it a squeeze. Slide your left leg out straight. Give that right thigh a little traction. And then open your right knee out into this reclined tree position. Reach your arms overhead and then slide that right heel out. And we're going to hug the left knee in, give it a nice squeeze. Open that left knee out to the left, finding that reclined tree, and then slide that left heel out. And reach both arms up overhead, big full inhale. Exhale, come into a moment to rest on your back. And we're going to hug both knees in, curl into a little ball. Exhale all the way out. And find one more full happy baby, reaching for the outside edges of the feet, ankles or shins. Soles of feet face the sky. And when you're complete with that, we're going to make our way into a Savasana. So we're resting on the back in the peace and the spaciousness of the present moment, letting go of all effort. And you can rest your hands right on your hips, the place where your thigh bones connect to your pelvis, offering some warmth, some openness there, and imagining a lot of light flowing through those hips, from your heart, down through the hips, out through the toes. Nice flow of energy from the place where the thigh bone connects to the pelvis. We can wag our toes a little bit, in and out, and then side to side. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it out your mouth. Just find compassion for wherever you're at today, and gratitude for anything at all that you have to be grateful for. We'll start to wiggle the toes, reach your arms up, big full inhale, reset, and then exhale, draw your knees in, tender hug, massage out your back, and then when you're ready, very gradually, very mindfully, press your way on up into a comfortable cross-legged seat. Arriving again in an upright seat, let's inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. thanking yourself for showing up to practice today, and I am wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and always trust on the journey. Namaste. And keep it up. Thanks for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. The super thanks button is a great way to support my efforts. I really appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Keep up your practice. Okay, bye-bye. Take care.